Hi, I'm Alina. I used to think I had it all: the dream house in the suburbs, the successful husband, and a marketing career that actually paid well enough to justify those student loans. That was before my world turned upside down. The test results are concerning, but please understand this is treatable. Dr. Palmer leaned forward in his chair, his expression serious but kind. It's a rare form of lymphoma, but we caught it early. I felt the room spin slightly. Cancer. It didn't seem real. What's the survival rate? My voice sounded distant, like someone else was speaking. With the treatment plan I'm suggesting, around 85%. Those are good odds, Alina. I drove home in a daze, rehearsing how to tell Derek. We'd been married 5 years, and he'd always been my rock. When I finally blurted it out that evening, his face went pale. Cancer? Are you absolutely sure? He paced our kitchen, running his hands through his hair. Maybe we should get a second opinion. Dr. Palmer is one of the best oncologists in the state. I just want to be thorough. This is your life we're talking about. He pulled me into a hug, but something felt off, like he was hugging a stranger. The next few weeks, Derek changed. I'd catch him at 3 a.m., the blue light of his laptop illuminating his face as he researched my condition obsessively. Did you know lymphoma patients sometimes experience cognitive confusion? He mentioned one morning, not looking up from his phone. I'm not confused, Derek. I'm sick, not losing my mind. He'd snap his laptop shut whenever I entered the room, and his phone calls became hushed affairs on our back porch. Once I overheard, "She doesn't suspect anything. No, the policies are all set." When my sister Megan came to visit, she noticed it too. "Something's off with him," she whispered while Derek was grabbing takeout. "He asked me weird questions about your will yesterday." "He's just scared. We both are." Megan squeezed my hand. "Has he been acting strange in any other ways?" I hesitated. I found a bank statement showing he withdrew $20,000 last week. When I asked about it, he said it was for my treatment. "But your insurance covers most of it, right?" Before I could answer, Derek returned, all smiles and charm. 2 days later, he suggested the cabin trip. "I found this amazing place in the mountains. It's peaceful, Alina. Clean air, no distractions. It could help you heal before your treatments start next month." "I don't know. It's pretty remote. What if something happens?" "That's the point," he insisted. "No work stress, no city pollution, just nature. Trust me, it's exactly what you need." Something in his eyes made my stomach knot. The Derek I married would have known I'd want to be near my doctors, near Megan. "I've already packed your bags," he added with a smile that didn't reach his eyes. I agreed, telling myself I was being paranoid. But that night, I secretly slipped my medication and Dr. Palmer's contact information into the lining of my jacket, just in case. The 3-hour drive to the mountains was silent and tense. Derek kept checking his mirrors, like he was making sure we weren't being followed. "You've been quiet," I said, watching his knuckles whiten around the steering wheel. "Just focused on getting us there before dark. These mountain roads can be tricky." My phone chimed with a text from Megan. "Call me when you get there. Love you." Before I could reply, Derek reached over. "Let me hold on to that. This trip is about disconnecting, remember? Doctor's orders." Dr. Palmer never said anything about, "It's common sense, Alina. Stress makes cancer worse." He pocketed my phone with a finality that made me shiver. The cabin was beautiful but eerily remote. No neighbors for miles. As Derek unpacked, I realized I felt dizzy. "I need my medication. It's time for the afternoon dose." Right, I packed them somewhere." He rummaged through bags half-heartedly. "Can't you skip one dose? We're here to detox anyway." That night, I woke to find Derek's side of the bed empty. Through the window, I saw him outside, illuminated by his phone screen, talking intensely. When he came back, I pretended to be asleep. The next morning, he was unusually cheerful, making pancakes and suggesting a short walk. "I'm too tired without my medication. Did you find it yet? I'll look again after breakfast. Stop fixating on it." While Derek showered, I searched for my phone, finding it in his jacket. The screen lit up with messages from someone named Vanessa. Is she getting suspicious? How long before the plan is complete? Can't wait to start our new life with the insurance money. My hands trembled as I scrolled through months of messages between my husband and his apparent girlfriend, discussing my illness as an opportunity. I barely had time to process before Derek emerged from the bathroom. That afternoon, he received a call that made him pace nervously. Emergency at work. Server crash. Might lose major accounts if I don't handle it personally. Take me with you. I don't feel right. No signal on the road. What if you need emergency services? Stay put. I'll be back tomorrow with supplies and your medication. Promise. The moment his car disappeared down the dirt road, I tore through our bags, finally finding my medication bottle. Opening it revealed not pills, but what looked like sugar tablets. I ran to the bathroom and vomited from fear rather than illness. Derek had left me here to die. Frantically searching the cabin, I discovered an old flip phone in a drawer. Only 15% battery. I took photos of the fake pills, Derek and Vanessa's texts, and recorded a video explaining everything. If anyone finds this, my husband Derek Whitman brought me to Silver Pine Cabin to die. He's planning to collect insurance money. The phone died before I could send anything. Outside, darkness was falling, and a storm rolled in. My real medication was gone. I was miles from civilization, and my body was already weakening. I slumped against the wall, panic threatening to overwhelm me. Then I spotted my hiking boots by the door and remembered. I'd been a wilderness camp counselor in college. If Derek thought I'd just lie down and die, he didn't know who he married. I grabbed essentials: water bottle, jacket, some crackers, and the dead phone for evidence. The map on the cabin wall showed a ranger station about 8 miles east. In my condition, it would be brutal, but staying meant death. The rain made navigation harder, but I followed the moss patterns on trees like my dad taught me. Nature always gives you signposts if you know how to read them, he used to say. By dawn, I'd covered maybe 3 miles. My lymphoma symptoms were flaring, fatigue, night sweats, the works. But fear kept me moving. On the second day, I found a hiking trail and followed footprints in the mud. That night, huddled under a rock overhang, I wondered what story Derek was spinning back home. I wasn't wrong. When I finally stumbled into Pine Ridge Ranger Station on the 3rd day, the ranger looked at me like he'd seen a ghost. "Ma'am, are you Alina Whitman? There's a search party looking for you." I avoided questions about Derek and asked to use their phone. I called Megan instead of my husband. "Alina, oh my God. We thought... Derek said you wandered off confused from your medication. The police have been searching the woods for 2 days. Don't tell anyone you heard from me. Not Derek, not the police. No one." "What's happening? Derek's been a wreck." "No, he hasn't. He left me there on purpose. He replaced my meds with sugar pills." Silence then. That son of a bitch. I knew something was off. He already moved some woman named Vanessa into your house. Claims she's helping him through this difficult time. She's his girlfriend. They've been planning this. Get somewhere safe. I'm coming to get you. Megan picked me up 2 hours later, hugging me so tight I could barely breathe. "Dr. Palmer called me yesterday," she said as we drove to her apartment. "He said Derek's story about you wandering off made no sense given your condition. He tried to access your medical records 3 times. Why would he need my records? For the life insurance claim, probably. Derek already contacted your policy provider. He's expecting a payout of $750,000. I felt sick. He really thought I'd just die out there. At Megan's apartment, we created a plan. She bought me burner phones and new clothes while I stayed hidden. We documented everything. The fake pills I'd pocketed, screenshots from Derek's phone, medical records showing my condition was treatable. "We need professional help," Megan said after 3 days of gathering evidence. "This is attempted murder." "I know someone," I said, remembering the business card in my wallet from when our house was broken into last year. "Officer Rodriguez." She seemed smart, thorough. I called her from the burner phone. "This is Detective Rodriguez." "Detective, this is Alina Whitman. Everyone thinks I'm lost in the woods, possibly dead. but I'm very much alive and I can prove my husband tried to murder me for insurance money. Silence then. I'm listening. I have evidence. Lots of it. And I want him to pay. Where can we meet? Somewhere Derek would never expect me to be. Detective Rodriguez tapped her pen against the conference room table. A memorial service is risky, but it gives us the perfect opportunity to catch him in the act. He'll never expect me to show up at my own funeral, I said, reviewing our plan for the third time. We'll have officers positioned throughout the venue, Rodriguez continued. Once Derek makes incriminating statements during his speech, we move in. Megan squeezed my hand. Are you sure you're up for this? You've only had 2 proper treatment sessions. I'm not missing this. Not after what he did. 2 weeks later, I watched from a back room as mourners filed into the community center for my celebration of life. Dr. Palmer had agreed to attend, wearing a wire to capture any suspicious conversations. Through the monitor, I saw Derek greeting guests with Vanessa subtly by his side. He'd aged her role from supportive friend to shoulder to cry on in record time. Look at him, Megan whispered beside me. Acting like the grieving husband while he's already moved his mistress in. That's the same dress I bought last Christmas, I noted, watching Vanessa adjust my favorite necklace around her throat. When the service began, Derek approached the podium, his eyes convincingly red-rimmed. Alina was everything to me, he began, voice cracking. My rock, my heart, my future. When she got sick, I promised I'd do anything to help her heal. That camping trip was supposed to be restorative. If only I'd known. He paused, dabbing his eyes. The police say she wandered off, confused from her medication. I blame myself every day for leaving her alone during my emergency work call. Rodriguez nodded to me. It was time. I walked down the center aisle, Megan and 2 officers flanking me. That's funny, Derek, because I don't remember being confused at all. I remember you stealing my medication and replacing it with sugar pills. The room erupted in gasps. Derek's face drained of color, and Vanessa started edging toward the exit where another officer blocked her path. Alina, this is impossible. You were lost in the woods. Not lost, abandoned. Left to die so you could cash in my life insurance and start over with Vanessa? Dr. Palmer stood up. I knew something was wrong when you claimed she was experiencing confusion. Her condition wouldn't cause those symptoms. You have no proof of anything, Derek snarled, composure cracking. Rodriguez stepped forward. Actually, we have quite a bit. Text messages between you and Miss Vanessa Clark discussing your plans. Falsified medication, premature insurance claims, and witness testimony from the cabin owner who said you specifically requested their most remote property. You planted all of that, Vanessa shouted, pointing at me. We also have your recorded confession from last night at the Capitol Grill, Rodriguez added. When you bragged to your friend about how you'd finally be set for life once the insurance check clears. As officers moved in with handcuffs, Derek lunged toward me, but Megan stepped between us. She trusted you, Megan said, eyes blazing. She loved you. 6 months later, I sat in Dr. Palmer's office receiving my final treatment. Your scans look excellent, he said, smiling. And I hear the trial is going well? 20 years minimum for attempted murder and fraud, worth every day in court. Outside, spring flowers were blooming. Like them, I had survived the winter. Would you have exposed Derek at a public memorial service like Alina did? Or would you have preferred private justice through the courts? Some say public humiliation is too cruel even for the worst betrayals, while others believe people who commit such terrible acts deserve to be exposed in front of everyone they know. What would you have done in Alina's shoes? If this revenge story resonated with you, hit that like button to help more people discover it. For more unique stories that explore the darker side of relationships and sweet justice, subscribe to the channel. New stories drop every week, and your comments help decide which stories come day.